we have a cool new feature that we've just released on the RenKap platform. Now clients can sign up, do all their surveys, get all their reports at the end on the platform, and once you receive all your reports, you can then request to get them all added into one constraints plan. So what is a constraints plan? Essentially, it's a drawing with your red line boundary highlighting all the different risks on that specific site. So instead of receiving reports, for example, the flood risk, the ecology, the utilities, the topo, the geotechnical, and reading them all individually, this shows all the risks on site. So when you look at that drawing, either in PDF or DWG, you will be able to see an annotation of all of the risks that are on the specific project, all on plan, which makes it really easy to share with your design team. And because it's also in DWG format, it means that they can then take that, and when they're thinking about massings and where the buildings are going to go, they can now consider the constraints within those designs much easier. So they can avoid root protection areas of big trees or big flooding areas, whatever the issues might be on site, they can see that all in one place. Let me show you how it works. So when you sign into the RenKap platform, you get in, you can see all of your sites here, and this works for all the completed projects. So if you go to one of your completed projects, for example this one, and you click on there, you will see here, this is the risk register, and you can see all your completed surveys. So all the ones in green are all the ones that have come back with no risks associated. And then, for example, the ecology one has come back recommending that you need a bat survey. All of these you can get added to a constraints plan. And if you want to do that, what you would do is you'd come up here, click on there, and then this gives a little bit more detail about how the constraints plan works and the pricing. And what you would do is you just select the surveys that you want added to your constraints plan. So you might want all of them, you might want a few of them, it's up to you. Just select the ones that you want. So for example, ecology, land contamination, tree survey, utilities, and then continue to check out. So click this button, and that's now being proceeded. Once you select here and confirm that you're happy to spend that money, then click confirm. Once you've clicked that, we will now invoice you for that amount, and our expert partner, which is a chartered architect, will now review those reports, review your site, populate the constraints plan. They've got all the PI and insurances required to do the work, and once they complete their works, which takes 5 days, they'll upload all the constraint plan information on a per survey basis. So you'll get a PDF and a DWG for every single survey, so you can merge them together as layers when you're doing your drawings, and they'll give it to you within 5 days. So we will now invoice you. They're going to complete their works, just to show you what our partner sees. So they'll receive an email right now that says, this is the site, these are the surveys that we need added to the constraints plan, here's all the reports information, and they then get an email and click on the report. Once you're back on the platform, you can then select your site, click on it, and then you'll be able to go to the risk register, and for any surveys that you've already completed your constraints plan, you'll be able to see that the constraints plan is included. You see them here, and then if you click on any of these, for example archaeology, you can download the full report and the appendices, but then you can also download the constraints plan, which will be in PDF and in DWG. So your design team can collate all of those in different layers, so they can turn on the different layers for the different surveys within the constraints plan, which is pretty handy. A final thing to mention is that once you've completed this and you've got your constraints plan for some of the surveys, you can then go and get constraints plan for the other surveys. So for example, you would go up here, request constraint plan, and now you can do it for the other surveys which were not included in the original instruction, and you can see the prices there. Brilliant. Get in touch if you have any questions on this, and yeah, try it out.